collective narratives around the Sierra Leonean Civil War, providing a platform for Sierra Leoneans to deal with the past and to promote collective healing. Because after the Civil War, we were told to forgive and forget. In which regard, many of us internalized our trauma. Consequently, many victims continue to suffer among us, as you have seen on the stage today. Our peace process will remain incomplete until we deal with the past and provide reparations to Civil War victims who remain beggars in your office spaces, like the priests and Levites of the biblical story of the Good Samaritan. You see them every day and you walk by them. The guns fell silent some 22 years ago, but the war rages on and the battlefields of our minds are still at war. Let us do better for war victims. They are dying among us, not from their victimization, but from our collective amnesia. I encourage you all, when you leave this room today, in the interest of our peace, to put a little bit of attention to the reparation mechanisms recommended by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. The victims of our civil war need your collective attention. If we don't do this, we cannot claim that we have achieved peace. We owe it to them. Our TRC process was fantastic. It created a fantastic document that should guide us into the future. We just need to follow it. We need to implement it successfully, particularly as it pertains to the victims of that conflict. As we speak, after tireless efforts of them calling for reparations, my center, the Center for Memory and Reparations, is currently calling for support so that we can provide basic assistance to them and their families. Because their death will be our collective freedom. Thank you very much for your attention. I will hand you over to Mr. Fatoma.
Thank you very much, sir. And basically, we have to remember, we should not forget. We have to remember. That's the best way forward for peace. Remember the past. The real man say, if you don't know how you go, you know how you come out. And also the market, two men and they are from Congo Town Market. And I want to give it down a beautiful song, I been give it today. Okay, when I can do that, Mama, we can give another one chance through the chairman and permission.
They can come out.
Yes, Haja Kano. No. Yeah, Baba, the market, two men.
Good morning. We're glad for the year because we can talk about peace. And peace, now we the Makituma, they cry for peace. Why will they cry for peace? When they say any ala, Udana the first target people then, na Makituma. Why? They want to get out all we could say. They go beat you, rape you. So we decided, say, no one's feds. Feds not of portion. We not of politicians then. We not buy and sell, make profits, we build us, educate to begin and now we sabi. Politician, when you vote for her, you know they can't tell you thank you. The politician then now, then they bring feds to the community then. We not get peace. But we the fight and cry for this peace. If you're a woman, holla for peace. Government's going to go get her. The man except for free. So we get one song will say, let we go before, now go the end. We know they go the end. Let we go before, now go the end. We know they go the end.
Now that we have set the stage, we now want to invite the ICPNC. We did this deliberately, rather than the ICPNC. We did this deliberately, rather than the ICPNC talking before. We wanted them to hear from their constituents. It's now my honor to invite the chairperson of the board of the ICPNC, Reverend Trodaki Johnson. A big round of applause from him. I am going to stand on existing protocols, but it's very important that I take this opportunity on behalf of my board, very effective and committed board members and staff, to thank all of us, but also I want to take this opportunity to really thank our partners who have brought us to where we are today. I want to make it very clear, Peace Commission would not have been where we are without our partners, international partners, local partners, CSOs and other organizations and institutions, religious bodies, the youths, the children, and the government for supporting the establishment of the commission, but also supporting the work of the commission. And so I want to say thank you. I want to take this opportunity. I know there will be somebody to thank you, but let me say thank you so much, because your support, your frank discussions on the side, we have brought this commission to where we are. And I want to say we have not yet arrived. Our intention is to make it better every day, grow, so that this commission will become a very good commission that will work in the interest of every Sierra Leonean, and other people will copy from what we are doing. With that, let me say this very quickly, Mr. Chairman, that peace is not a destination. It's not a destination, it's an ongoing journey. And all of us should be committed, should be determined to take the journey together. And we should not come to a place where we say we have arrived. I think it's a misconception. Many times when we talk about peace, people think that, oh, when we achieve this, then we are peaceful. No, it's an ongoing. And it's an everyday life. We should make it our lifestyle. Then it will become our habit, and then it become a culture. We should have a peace culture. We have come a long way from the war. And to be very sincere and to be honest with ourselves, we have to be grateful because we have come a long way. We have taken some positive steps in this country, and to the point where we are. But there's still a lot to be done. But we want to say thank you to everyone that has enabled us to come to where we are today. We want to say thank you, to every partner, locally, internationally, that has helped us, even before the formation of the Peace Commission, for us to be here today. And with the formation of the Peace Commission, people have worked assiduously in their own way to contribute to the peace of this nation. Everything is not gloomy and dark. We have come a long way. And I think we should commend ourselves for coming a long way. It is very important. I always I study so much about tradition, and I like to say, the African proverb says, if you want to go far, go. If you want to go far, go alone. But if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with others. And we believe as a nation, we want to go far. We want to go far, so we want to go with others. We want to go with everybody, inclusively in this nation. We want to go, everybody is important. And we want to go also with our international community together, because Sierra Leone wants to go far. The world will not wait for us. If we continue to fight, the world will not wait for us. The world is going ahead of us. And we should be committed and determined to join the rest of the world in developing our nation. I will really say our major problem to peace today is not, we have gone through the war. For me also, as somebody who has lived through this war, who works with the amputees, especially in Po, for many years, the first amputees, and adopted, I have two sons who are amputees. I want to make it very clear. It was not, even though all the writings around the world speaks about diamond, but I differ from my own writing. I differ. It was not the diamonds that brought us the war.
It was bad governance that brought us to war. We should be very sincere about it. But you see, it is always the case that people try to write a narrative that they want the world to buy. That is why the African proverbs say, it is always good for the lion to tell his story that the hunter tells him. Because when the hunter tells the story of the lion, he's not going to tell it the way, he will tell it from the hunter point of view. But when the lion tells his own story, it's a different thing. We are the lions. Let us tell our own story. Some of us were here, we are working for organizations, and we know it's bad governance that brought us to where we are today. And if we can address some of those things, then the peace will continue to journey in peace. It is also very clear for us to understand that indeed, one of the challenges we have today in our country, today we have intermarriages. There are people, my wife is a Limba, I'm a Creole by tribe. My wife is a Limba, my mother is a Shabro. I live in the south. Now, all of these areas, we work together. If you go to parliament and see how it's from different political arena, how they joke, how they laugh. But when it comes to election, we have a problem. And I want us to know, if we are going to maintain the peace, we have to be colorblind. We have to be colorblind, and it's very important for us to know we have to go against tribal issues. Let us put people who have the potential, people who have proven potential. Let us give them the authority. It really don't matter where they are coming from. As long as they can prove themselves, then let us put them there. This will maintain the peace. There are a lot of people who, some of them have potential. They are not proving it because they are not being given the platform. But there are those who are proving potential. Let us support them. Their tribe really don't matter to us. What is important, if they can do it, let's support them. That is where the sticking point is currently for Sierra Leone. Our sticking point is, right now we'll joke and laugh. But 1 year to election, there will be a tense atmosphere. Every area you go, even friends and who have been talking, neighbors, will begin now to pull themselves. This should not happen again. We are building a new Sierra Leone. We are building a new Sierra Leone. And I am appealing. Peace starts with you. It starts with him. And it starts with a smile. An eye for an eye will leave all of us blind. And who want to be blind? My challenge here today, as we talk about, having a culture of peace and national cohesion, I challenge it. It should run through every fabric of the society. In the educational sector, we should be talking about this. We should have it. In the governance system, we should talk about it. CSOs should talk about it. Every sector and fabric of the society, the religious people should be talking about it. Every sector, it should become the food we eat. When we wake up, we should talk about it. When we sleep, we should talk about it. Every home should be talking about it. Let it become also the national anthem of this nation. Then we will see that indeed we achieve peace. We are committed. As board members and as staff, we are committed. I don't want to go back home one day, my son or my grandchildren asking me for peace in your nation. I want to look them in my eyes and say, I worked with other people who are committed to peace. And that is why we are where we are today. I want to talk to them with freedom, with peace. Brothers and sisters, if we don't take this journey together and committedly mean it, someday our children will ask us that question and we will not have an answer to give them. We should have an answer to give them. And we have to dismantle all the structures that militate against peace. Every structure that militates against peace, we should do everything to dismantle it. Because remember, peace is a journey. Until we do that, we will not have peace. So I encourage you, I thank you for coming, but I want to encourage you. Each and every one of us should talk about peace. We have done well, and so we should commend ourselves. Let me end with this illustration. You see, all of us know the Agama lizard. Is that not so? Every second, we know the Agama lizard. Now, the Agama lizard is not afraid of height. The Agama lizard is not afraid of height. So the Agama lizard will fall from any height. And when the Agama lizard falls down on the ground, do you know what the Agama lizard will do? He will take his head, and the first thing he will do, he will look to his right. Have you noticed that? Do you know why the Agama lizard is looking to his right? He's looking for somebody to praise him. To say, Mr. Agama, Mrs. Agama, that was a great fall. You did very well. But when the Agama lizard looks to the right and don't find anyone praising him, the Agama lizard will take his head and look to the left. Have you noticed that? He said, okay, I did not find someone on the right to praise me. Let me look to the left. Maybe there will be somebody there. He's looking for somebody to say, Mrs. Agama, that was a great fall. Mr. Agama, you did well. But when the Akama lizard moves to the left and don't find anybody to break, the Akama lizard will take his head and begin to beat his breast, saying, I did well, I did well, I did well. As Iranians, we have done well, we have done well, we have done well. We should continue to do well. Thank you very much.
The chairman of the board of the ICPNC, you can sense the passion, very committed, but he's also a priest, right? We speak to convert this high table to a pulpit. Thank you very much. A big round of applause again for him. He tried to discuss two important things about peace and peace building. One of which is the discourse of greed and grievance on the onset of war. Is it greed or grievance? And we've seen academic papers on this about what led to the word. He's simply saying it's about grievance, right? The diamonds helped later on, but it's actually about background. But they also spoke about, and so I know we can easily speak about tribalism. And in opportunities where I've told people, no, we don't have tribalism in Sierra Leone. Now, don't have tribalism. Tribalism is, I don't know how to explain. Tribalism is when it's hatredless for another person because of different tribe, right? So you look at Mendeman, you're not Tindiman, or you look at Tindiman, you're Mendeman, you hate her. That's what tribalism is. But if you go across, we intermarry, you meet one baby in a club, you want Koyana, the least you think about my tribe, not so. The business don't go far before you go to outside, not so. What we have is what is referred to as ethnic politicization. Because our politicians don't have anything to tell us. At a political time, we tell you, mathematics, not so. We call that ethnic politicization. That's what the chairman was saying. We have to stop that. As we move on, and when I want to bring our development partners to talk to us, but before doing that, I want to show you a big documentary. After that documentary, we're going to have a song, then we'll bring in now our international development partners to talk to us, before we bring in the UN resident coordinator to give us the keynote statement. Are we ready? All right, we'll show a brief documentary on the work of the Commission.
Nestled along the coast of West Africa, Sierra Leone's path from conflict to peace is a story of resilience. This brief journey takes us to the Sierra Leone Peace Museum, a place central to sustaining this hard-won peace. Established in 2006, the Sierra Leone Peace Museum is a living testament to Sierra Leone's journey from pain to unity. It's more than a museum, it's a beacon of hope.
The artifacts that we have contained here include every bit of what we have seen. For instance, when you see these cutlasses, you see this magical dress, it tells you that people are so hateful of each other that they could go to the extent of building magic to kill another person. Now we will tell people here that is this the kind of society? And I'm sure those kinds of questions are always no. And therefore we are helping to build peace rather than build war.
Inside, relics of the past tell stories of struggle and survival. Broken guns and tattered armed forces uniforms, all of them symbol of a conflict that shaped the nation's pursuit of peace.
Historic document which we're about to sign should be dedicated to the children of Sierra Leone.
The museum also safeguards crucial peace agreements. These documents mark the end of Sierra Leone's brutal civil war in 2002, embodying a nation's yearning for stability and justice.
All right. I think what that short documentary tells us is the long journey we've come from as a people.
no problem. No one nothing again like with your buyer.
Me, I advise me people then do. Let we not try for bring trouble can our country. We for them with peace and we for love we say. If any pet can this country, we the innocent one and we get for suffer. So I pray to be confident, I pray to be confident. No all get unity, no all get one. Let we not bring pet cancer we country.
Violence not the solution to problem. Violence not able help for let we get what you want. Let we go into dialogue. Let we defend them for meet with the big one then. Let's sit down with them. Any kind of let we get patient. Because one piece not to one day. If we don't make the first approach, you not able, let we do second approach. Now so we go there, stay we able forget what we want. But for commonality, if they go you take life where you don't make.
Let them remember so we don't come up for 10 years war. So now we all come together and unite. If we see setting them all out in the country, we will not appreciate. We need for me to the big one there where they ask me to they say no vote. Then we expect we say not of our pets, not of our whole arm, not of all we get we say in our hearts. We forget peace and love and unity inside Sierra Leone. So now that no mommy they tell for 21 the way they out. This all unnecessary for commoners with all arm, one after police, one after civilian. It don't make sense.
Peace of this nation, now it matter. Because we know say if the country they are peace, we say self will go be calm.
I don't talk to some of them, don't come and sit, don't they stable, don't they Saudi, they are not patient.
Salana, you don't fight for me, let me fall, try for live, which peace, to say unity and national cohesion of the country.
All right, thank you very much. We hope those very short videos will provide us a reminder of where we're coming. But the president, the chair of the board, made something very important about the civil war. Sometimes there's what we call the negative capability of the war, right? I remember what happened at the war, not go talk. And in some way, sometimes hold us back from demanding for accountability. So as much as we remember, I think it's also important that we have to hold elected officials to be accountable and deliver on their commitment. Like I mentioned, we're now going to move to our development partners, the partners that ICPNT has been working with, and we'll give them another 3 minutes. On this time, I will try as best as possible to ensure we stay within 3 minutes. And the first organization that is going to start that conversation is a national organization that's been working around issues of peace. It used to be called Search for Common Ground. Now it's called Talking Drum Studio. We call the national coordinator of Talking Drum Studios, Mr. Alpha. Big round of applause as we welcome Talking Drum Studio. We have received over from the Embassy of Ireland in Sierra Leone, which we sometimes call Irish Aid, for their continued investment in localization. And I will ask that on behalf of the partners, the ambassador or his representative receive our acknowledgement and our appreciation for the support we have received over the years, and to extend such appreciation to the taxpayers and people of Ireland. Let me also hotly mention a couple of partners who have supported us over the years on peace promotion initiatives, and that includes UK Aid in Sierra Leone, WFP, UNDP, and many. We also want to acknowledge the partnership with the Peace Commission since its inception. And that partnership has been productive over the years. I'll commit that beyond the national level celebration of the International Day of Peace, we will also collaborate for the district level engagements. Today, we are gathered here in celebration of this day, but to also continue the conversation and the dialogue that will contribute in de-escalating tensions and building peace in communities. Through a project supported by IRISH, supporting over 1,000 women to locally driven peace initiatives, and they've positioned themselves as trusted actors in nearly half of the country. But beyond that, other initiatives supported by other international partners have contributed in de-escalating tensions and building peace in the communities, to the extent Sierra Leone's ranking on the Peace Index table has been very, very impressive over the years. We are third most peaceful country in Africa, and congratulations to all of us. But we are not out of the woods yet, I have to say. Yes, our peace index ranking is impressive, but then there are threats to peace. And those threats may have to also mention, and permit me to do that. One of them is electoral violence. We fight over elections, and after elections, shoot down. There are other incidents that have also threatened our coexistence. The August 10th incidents in Freetown and across the country. The generator saga in McKinney. The constituency 110 by-elections in Godwich. The direct engagement with chiefs in Lone Star. And most recently, the jailbreak and the attempted coup. These are all indicators that we are not out of the woods yet. Let us celebrate where we can, but let us also pay attention to the fact that we are not out of the woods, and we are still under threat. And therefore, as we cultivate a culture of peace, I want to add that we have to deepen peace engagement in our communities. The chairperson of the board has said that we will have to dialogue again and again. But in doing that, we also want to be very frank and call things by their name. We still have a winner-takes-all type of approach to governance. For me, brothers and sisters, winner takes all simply means if I win, all the people will take power. And we've seen that over the years. When APC win the elections, all the officials are APC. And if there are SLP people, they take them out. When SLP win the elections, they do the same. All those in governance are SLP people out. Even those with the required qualification and experience. So every government is starting from scratch. You're not building on something. So we continue to reverse the trends we are making over the years. Beyond that, there is also limited access and even distribution of resources. It's so poorly managed, limited opportunities for young people,
security is sometimes so hot-headed that they cannot manage protests quite sufficiently, and it ends up in deaths, etc. There is an increase in drugs among young people, rampant corruption. All of these are undercurrents that undermines the peace we want to engage. But we have an opportunity here. We can do better as a country. We have to do better as a country. We have to leverage the good reputation we have on interfaith relations and translate that into governance. If Muslim and Christian marry, it means APC has every person, therefore live together. That's simple. It's nothing else. And I agree with the moderator around ethnicity, etc. We have to coexist. We have to cross boundaries. That is why we're very impressed with the work the women of this project are doing. But if we want to cultivate peace, there's one thing, there's only one way to do it. We may have differences in opinion. That is normal. But we have to dialogue. And there's no better way to do it is to dialogue, dialogue, and dialogue. Thank you.
You're not out of the woods yet. Dialogue, dialogue, and dialogue. And this will take us to the next speaker, the country representative of Ajiamondo. Ajiamondo? Okay, we have a lady who's representing us. A big round of applause for Ajiamondo. Again, we ask, let's stay within the 3 minutes time slot. It's been a challenge, but I hope we will continue to improve.
Good afternoon, everybody. Our protocol of love. I stand on the existing protocol of my colleagues. I'm representing Ajiamondo. Ajiamondo is a German organization working in Sierra Leone, and it has its partners, about 10 organizations, and the focus is peace. Our work entails peace because, as my colleague have already said, it's not about the absence of war, the gunshots, the machetes and others. We believe that peace is within, as other colleagues have said. And Ajiamondo, we work to make sure that peace is instilled in every heart of man. And this organization that works with Ajiamondo, sorry to say partner in Ajiamondo, is a German organization with support from BMZ. And we have thought it fit that we should run with this vision to ensure that peace reigns in Sierra Leone. It doesn't mean that we should be talking about peace in itself, but what causes conflict and how we should actually work towards building peace. As it's been said here, cultivating a culture of peace. It's like we have to, like the agriculturists, when they want to plant, they say we are going to cultivate a farm. That is brushing, cleansing, burning, and everything. And that's what we are doing. We have 10 organizations with different mandates, but we ensure that peace is also part of our activities. We look at SGBV in the country. People don't look at it as a platform of creating conflict in the country. When you look at the justice system, they have certain things that they can take on board to address SGBV, but there are certain things they will not take on board, although it's also part of the SGBV. And also, we look at peace to see how we can actually cultivate it in the lives of our children. I'm so happy that we have the younger generation coming back. But we look at it that how much has government put into these young generations that tomorrow they will take after us. How effective is the Minister of Information and Civic Education? What is lacking is that because the erosion of civic education in schools, our generation coming up, they don't know anything about what has happened in the past. And they don't know what is happening now in the present because that is lacking in schools. The focus is more of academic work, being a scientist, being a doctor, being a lawyer. But they don't know actually the value of what Sierra Leone stands on. I'm happy that today we have got our colleagues from Patoma and another colleague for the monument. They have explained the war. And I want to say bravo to Fatoma because the thick of the war, we were together. And today we are seeing ourselves in different areas talking about peace. At Agiamondo, it's a deliberate action we have taken. We have all facets of people, organizations, looking at peace in different ways. But we come together collaboratively to see how we can make sure that peace is real in Sierra Leone. We at Waves, we are looking at the women and children and girls especially. How do we work with them to make sure that what we have experienced in the past doesn't occur again? Our other colleagues are looking at peace in the parish, how to ensure that peace reigns in the churches and their communities. Other organizations are looking at youth in general, nationally and outside of Sierra Leone, how they can create peace in their activity and maintain it. Other organizations are looking at how they can look at governance issue. Our colleagues talk about governance. They are looking at governance. Yes, diamond caused problem in the country, but it was not the diamond. It was bad governance. Because we are living testimony. We have lived in bad governance where we have not seen any results. At my age now, I'm still asking, when and where and how do we maintain peace? When will our children and grandchildren enjoy peace? I'm still in no roadway, but thank God for the Peace Commission. With the stride they have taken, we are hoping that one day we will realize peace. And I'm happy also, Agiamondo have joined with the Peace Commission 2 years ago. We said to our colleague, Max, we said, we need to actually work with the Peace Commission. Not just coming to deliver to us messages, what the Peace Commission, but how can we work together? And today, we are part of this commission. And we hope even after Max would have gone, we'll continue as partners to work with the Peace Commission. We are ready to work. We are ready to take the message out. We are ready to reach out to the girls. We are ready to reach out to the adults, the adolescents, because tomorrow it is their future. We are the older ones now. We have eaten our own time. But let's give chance to this younger generation to take the peace ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A big round of applause for Agiamondo again. Again, I will ask, let's keep within time. Another partner that has worked with the commission is Troke. We have a representative from Troke. Thank you very much. A big round of applause for Troke. Let's stay within 3 minutes mandate.
Observed. My name is George Were. I'm the incoming country director for Trocare. This is my 6th day in Sierra Leone. I was here in 2004, 2 years after cessation of hostilities. So I talk with some kind of hindsight. I'll keep within the 3 minutes. It's a pleasure to be part of this celebration. And it reminds us that peace, and I'm glad the theme is around peace, not around conflict. It's not just an ideal, but a reality we must continually strive for. Building peace means understanding the elements, the drivers of conflict, and dealing with them, not wishing them away. We are also reminded that the choices that we face in moments of tension are two. We have a choice to make when there's tension. Either go to conflict or face some of those challenges. And that is what is at the heart of Trocair's peace-building work in this country. Though Sierra Leone faces challenges 20 years after the war, there is hope, as past speakers have indicated. And some of these includes some of the observations we have made, how empowering youth, women, the marginalized groups, and leaders can lead into transformation of communities. We're working currently with USAID in supporting peace building, what we call the P2P project, where we work also, and I recognize them very heartily, local partners to strengthen for peace. We strive to facilitate the fostering of trust between citizens and authorities, because without trust, there's no open discussion, there's no way of dealing with sensitive issues. Trust is very key. We also try to equip youth and women's peace ambassadors with leadership skills, because peace, to plow peace, to cultivate peace, there is need for leadership. There needs for organization and leadership alongside trust. Our work, one little piece of work that I want to point out that we do together with the UNDP is with the Okada team. I hope I pronounce it correctly. I work with the bike riders, which illustrates how peace is intertwined with three facets: justice, equality, opportunity. And indeed, opportunity means don't leave anybody behind. The other element that we have also realized is very, very key. And I was so glad to see our mothers from the Market Association, those who do the business, is the significance of economic empowerment. Peace begins from the stomach and it goes into the mind. If you lack, you cannot coexist. It's difficult. So we should also remember that we have to do a lot on giving everybody economic opportunity. When you see people who have what they need, you see them queuing very quietly and waiting for their turn. That if they are not sure that they get a chance, if there's shortage, you have to fight your way through. At Trocair, in conclusion, we believe everyone has a role to play in peace building. Inclusion is key. Whether you are a peace ambassador, an Okada rider, or a local civil society organization, we must advocate for justice, advocate and practice. Each one of us, individually or collectively, can contribute to a future where peace, justice, and equality can thrive in plentiness. As we celebrate this very important day, and I'm so lucky to be in Sierra Leone this very important day, let us commit. Let us move on. Let us act against our commitments so that we can all realize, long-lasting peace. Thank you very much, and God bless.
A big round of applause to Trocair. And I will add that let's all keep to time like Trocair did. Thank you very much. Close to home, we call in on ECOWAS. Do we have an ECOWAS representative with us? Okay, thank you very much. We have a representative from the economic community of West African states. Part of their mandate is to promote peace and economic growth. Thank you very much, Ambassador.
It is with a deep sense of duty and a good satisfaction on behalf of the ECOWAS Commission to stand before you today to make these few remarks on the occasion of the International Day of Peace. May I recall that the slogan of ECOWAS Vision 2050 is ECOWAS for the people, peace and prosperity for all. If I wanted to make this remember, is to emphasize that the culture of peace is institutionalized at the level of the ECOWAS Commission. But we may acknowledge that the region of West Africa is still facing significant challenge. The spread of terrorism has set us many years back, destabilizing the region and undermining member states' development efforts. Youth employment remains as a challenger. The impact of climate change is incredibly threatening the fragility of the region. 24 years ago, there has been a sustainable decade in major civil wars. However, the security situation has been more complex and multi-faced, with the threats including human, drug, and armed trafficking, money laundering, terrorism, and the financing of terrorism, cybercrime, and counterfeiting of all types of products, specifically pharmaceutical. Terrorism and the financing of terrorism have now become the security Kakman for many countries in the West African region. On the other hand, democratic process are still fragile. Frequent disputes on electoral process, perceived as less consensual, have led to serious political and institutional crises, creating instability, sometimes with negative relations implications. Faced with this major challenge, and in accordance with the following statement of the ECOWAS 2050 vision, a fully integrated community of people living in a peaceful and prosperous region with strong institutions and respect for fundamental rights and freedom, striving for inclusive and sustainable development. The management of the ECOWAS Commission has decided to implement 44 strategic objectives, which are Objective 1, hence the regional peace and security, by strengthening ECOWAS peace and security early warning capability, build mediation capacity, strengthen rapid response and peace. Objective 2, deeper regional integration through promotion, among others, of free movement of people and goods. Objective 3, good governance by building strong regimes and anti-constitutional change of government and support member states to deepen democracy. Objective 4, inclusive and sustainable development through social gender, youth and environment program. By 2050, ECOWAS will have to meet the challenge of social cohesion among its people, create the condition of a sense of belonging that is characteristic of community citizenship that will foster the emergence of a cultural identity based on shared values. In conclusion, I confirm ECOWAS' commitment to the people of Sierra Leone to spare no effort to sustainably strengthen peace and social cohesion. Thank you for considerations.
Big round of applause for ECOWAS. And acknowledgements there. Advise their mandate is to promote peace and social cohesion and economic growth. The sub-region is facing a lot of challenges. It's now my honor to bring in a partner who has been with the ICPNC since its commencement. Allow me to invite the Irish ambassador to Sierra Leone, or our representative.
Thank you, Chairman. Allow me to stand on existing protocols. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Carol Hannon. I'm the Deputy Head of Mission at the Irish Embassy. I'm responsible for the Irish Aid Programme that's been mentioned already. I'm here on behalf of my ambassador, Aidan Fitzpatrick, who couldn't be with us today. As the Chair said in his opening statements, the theme of this year's International Day of Peace, cultivating a culture of peace, is really appropriate in the face of the multiple crises, geopolitical tensions, and increasing divisions that we're all seeing across the world. The pursuit of peaceful, cohesive, and just society is imperative for stability, sustainable development, and economic growth. Strengthening governance and supporting democracy is at the heart of Ireland's development cooperation. And it was good to hear the board chairman, Reverend, say bad governance brings war. We believe that a more inclusive, transparent, and accountable governance processes and a protected civil society space are essential for achieving these sustainable development goals and providing a critical pathway for those who are left furthest behind. That's why, as part of our governance work, we are pleased to have worked closely with TDS, as you heard earlier, and with its partners BAN and 50/50, and that includes supporting today's event and the other events that have been marking this day across the country. Honourable Chairperson, this year's theme of the International Day of Peace is an important call to all of us to continue working collaboratively to build a genuine culture of peace, not just on one day of the year, but on every day with all of our activities. I liked the phrase that Philippa, the Child's Forum representative, said. She talked about